Okay, we will solve number 1 from chapter 6 hard questions. So number 1 tells us to refer to scenario. Scenario reads, let the supply and demand curve for gallons of gasoline be the following. P equals 2Q and P equals 12 minus Q. Treat each question as independent of each other. The question reads, if the price floor is $12, which of the following outcomes would result? Surplus of 6 gallons, shortage of 6 gallons, surplus of 0 gallons, shortage of 0 gallons. Okay. So we're given a supply and demand curve. Supply is 2Q. Demand is 12 minus Q. And the question tells us that the price floor is $12. So if we want to know what the outcome of a price floor or any price control is, right, we can view this visually by drawing a supply and demand curve. There's demand, there's supply. Okay, so we know that there are two types of price floors, right? A binding price floor and a non-binding price floor. So if we have a price floor that appears here, this would be a binding price floor, right? So we know that a binding price floor is the price that becomes the prevailing price in the market, right? The equilibrium price is no longer legal, right? Because it's below the price floor, and the price floor is the legal limit. That is as low as the price is allowed to go. That is the floor that the government has put under the price, right? So at the prevailing price of a binding price floor, right, the quantity supplied, as indicated by the supply curve, would be here, QS, and demand, quantity demanded, as indicated by the demand curve, would be here. So quantity supplied will be greater than quantity demanded. The market is now out of equilibrium, and we have what's called a surplus, where quantity supplied is greater than quantity demanded. Right? Or we could have a non-binding price floor. That's one which appears below the equilibrium, in which case the equilibrium price is legal. It's above the floor, right? So nothing happens. The prevailing price is indeed the market clearing or equilibrium price. Okay, so what we want to do is see how this price floor affects quantity supply and quantity demanded, right? So if we plug the price floor into supply and demand curve, so for the supply curve, 12 would equal to, and we can find what is the quantity supplied, right? In this scenario, the quantity supplied is 6 units. We can do the same with demand. So $12 is equal to 12 minus Q. So what is the quantity demanded? Quantity demanded, subtract the 12, get rid of the minus signs. The quantity demanded is 0 units. So we can answer two questions here. A, is this price floor binding? Well, yes, it is, right? Because quantity supplied is greater than quantity demanded, which is this scenario here, right? If the price floor gave us a result where quantity demanded was greater than quantity supplied, or if the price floor was less than the equilibrium price, we would immediately know that this is a non-binding price floor. But we do indeed have a binding price floor. And so this is going to result in a surplus. So we're going to have a surplus. And we know that the surplus is equal to quantity supplied minus quantity demanded, which in this scenario is 6 minus 0, which is equal to 6. So the answer here is A, surplus of 6 gallons.